positive vibe at the ballpark is palpable. Fresh off a win over the Yankees with both the bats and Neppy Feliz returning. Fans and team embracing on photo day. And one of baseball's best traditions, the celebration of Mother's Day. In front of a sellout crowd on a picture-perfect day, your Rangers and the New York Yankees play for a series win next. Oh, what a day at Rangers Ballpark in Arlington. A picture-perfect day for baseball and a great way to celebrate a great tradition. That is the tradition of honoring Mom on Mother's Day. The Rangers have a winning record on Mother's Day, and they're in the midst of a win streak on Mother's Day. So we say Happy Mother's Day to all of you moms out there, and welcome to Rangers Ballpark in Arlington. John Radigan and Tom Grieve here, and there are many celebrations and ways to commemorate Mother's Day today. One of them is that Michael Young, among other players, will use a pink bat today. And Tom Grieve, the way Michael Young's swinging the bat, I don't think it matters if it's pink, purple, yellow, what color it is. He's hitting the ball real well right now.
He is. He's probably off to one of the best starts he's ever had. Maybe as good a 5-week stretch as he's ever had. Last night, before the game, his average had dipped a little bit below 330. Big deal. Most of us would love to have that. So what did he do during the game? First time up, he hits a home run. He would go on to get 4 hits in the game. Second time, he wasn't sure if that was going to be fair. It drops in for a single, rips a base hit to left, and then gets a big hit right here in the game, a base hit up the middle to drive in a run. So on the day, he's knocked in a couple of runs. He's gone 4 for 4. Now his average is right close to 350.
And third in the league in that category, third in RBIs as well. You see he's at the tops in the league in a couple of categories, including those 47 hits. So he's ready. The moms all appear to be ready. They're here with their families to celebrate Mother's Day and to celebrate what we all hope will be a Rangers victory and a series win. For Dave Bush, it's his first chance against the Yankees in a long time, but his numbers against New York are good. We talk about them and him next. We've got the starting lineup and the first pitch. It's time to play ball, y'all, from Rangers Ballpark in Arlington. Sports Southwest is brought to you by your Texas Ford dealers. Check out the Ford F-150 and drive one. Ford is the best in Texas. By the Progressive Insurance Group. For a money-saving car insurance quote, call 1-800-PROGRESSIVE today. By Jack in the Box. Get the new Bourbon Barbecue Steak Grilled Sandwich now at Jack in the Box. And by Southwest Airlines' new Rapid Rewards. Unlimited reward seats and no blackout dates. Bright sun in the sky, not a cloud up there on Mother's Day, May the 8th of 2011, and the commemorative faces are in place, as are the players, signing autographs, as is the tradition on Sunday afternoon games for a youngster that is waiting for them at each and every one of their assigned positions. What a thrill for the kids, and believe me, it's a thrill for the players, too, to meet these young people, these great baseball fans who are all out here today to celebrate the Rangers and to celebrate Mom. It's John Radigan and Tom Grieve with you at Rangers Ballpark in Arlington. And it is a great day for baseball and a great tradition as the Texas Rangers get ready to try and win this series from the New York Yankees. There you see the Rangers dugout as they get ready. Lots of pink bats in there. And there will be pink bats coming out of the other dugout as well. Lots of players will commemorate Mother's Day with the pink bats as we welcome a mom-to-be, Emily Jones, into the show. Happy Mother's Day, Em.
Thank you guys very much. And lots of guys on the phone with their wives and mothers, everyone wanting to wish theirs a happy Mother's Day. I wanted to get some on camera, and I had to be a little creative in an effort to do that.
We're here with Emily, and she has something special to say today.
No, you're supposed to say it to me. I'm the mother.
No, you're the one supposed to say your mom.
Oh.
We're here with Fox Sports, and we're here with Emily today, and she has something special to say.
I would like to wish my mother, Carol, my stepmother, Ava, and my mother-in-law, Nettie, a very, very happy Mother's Day. Nap, you want to say anything?
Yeah, I'd like to say happy Mother's Day to my mother, Donna. If it wasn't for her, I probably wouldn't be here today, and I love you, and I hope you have a wonderful day.
So sweet. It's nice to see the softer side of these guys. So a very happy Mother's Day to all the moms out there, and a big thanks to Mike Napoli for being a trooper.
Yes, Emily, thank you very much. We do appreciate it. And there's a lot of moms here, as this is a day for families at Rangers Ballpark in Arlington. Another sellout crowd expected here. And it'll be one of the biggest weekends for attendance at Rangers Ballpark in Arlington in the history of this great facility. Let's scout Dave Bush, today's starter, Tom.
He's been in 4 games, been stretched out, especially in his last outing. Went 4 1/3, May 1st at Oakland. That was his longest outing in the season. He's had 5 starts against the Yankees, but hasn't started in a long time against the Yankees, about 5 or 6 years.
Derek Jeter starts off with a single, as Southwest Airlines brings us the rest of the Yankees batting order. Behind Jeter, it's Granderson, Teixeira, Rodriguez, Cano, and Swisher, just as it has been the other 2 games. Posada back in the 7th hole, then Gardner and Francisco Cervelli is behind the plate today. That's the catcher. There's Dave Bush.
Dave got a start earlier in the season in a while. Although he had pretty good stuff and got through 3 innings without giving up a run, he had to throw a lot of pitches. Wasn't as sharp as I think he would like to have been. But he had a fairly long relief appearance against Toronto on the 25th of April, and the one we showed at Oakland on the 1st of May where he threw 64 pitches. So even though it's been a week since he's pitched, I think he's in better shape to start today as far as being sharp than he was his first one in Detroit.
And now he's working against Curtis Granderson. That hit by Derek Jeter, the 2,957th of his career. He was in a tie with Wee Willie Keeler at 30th place. Now he moves past Wee Willie, and he's in 30th place all alone with 2,957 hits. He's just 43 to get to 3,000, that magic number. Cano, you see, with the all-pink bat. Most of the players have their bat maker, their own manufacturer, whoever they're aligned with, make them a bat to the same specifications of the one that they normally use, even though these look so much different. And Granderson slices that one foul. Also, lots of other pink garnishments on the players. The wristbands, we've got a set of those ourselves. The necklaces, many of them have the pink tinged batting gloves as well. And now Jeter's going. The throw to second. Gets away from Elvis. And it's a steal for Jeter.
First of the year so far. He's been 0 for 2 before that one. Dave takes a little time between his stretch and delivering the ball. Allowed Jeter really not to give Torrealba much of a chance to get him on that play.
So it's a 2-2 count to Curtis Granderson. And it's Jeter at second. This one's hit towards first. Great play by Napoli to Bush, and they got him.
That looked like a base hit to right field. Mike showing some pretty nice agility to be able to lay out and make that play. It's a hard hit ball, one hop smash. Looked like the ball was actually by him. When he caught it, had to reach toward right field to catch that ball. It's a beautiful play. Granderson runs pretty well, but it was such a hard hit ball that they had plenty of time to get the throw to Bush at first base.
So first, Napoli shows the agility to interview Emily Jones, and now great agility on that play as he's off to a good start.
Well, the stolen base allows Jeter to be at third, and although you don't know exactly what would have happened if Jeter had not tried to steal second base, if that same ball was hit with Jeter at first, it would have been into right field for a base hit, and Napoli would have been holding him on at first base.
Now working against Teixeira is Dave Bush. Numbers against Texas, he's hitting .252 on the year overall. And .353 with runners in scoring position. Throw back to third. Mike Napoli, of course, was able to pick Russell Martin off third base the other night with a play like that. And it was the first pickoff at third base the Rangers had completed since the year 2007. Little low to Tex, and it's 2-2. Crowd filtering in here. Another sellout will be on hand. Last night's crowd bigger than Friday night's and equaled the second largest here at Rangers Ballpark this season. The 2-2. Popped him up. Elvis going back. Has it. And it's too shallow to allow the run to tag.
Yep, big out right there. It's one of the big RBI guys in baseball to pop up with a man on third base and one out. Good pitching right there.
Let's take a look at the rest of the Rangers defense back there. It's Murphy, Bourbon, and Craig Gentry just called up out there in right field. Beltre and Andrus on the left side, and Ian with Mike Napoli over on the right. Yorvik Torrealba back behind the plate, catching Dave Bush in his second start of the season. And now it's Alex Rodriguez. A-Rod was 0 for 3 yesterday. And he's been popped up, straight up, sky high. Yorvik Torrealba has it. And the side's retired. Jeter stranded at third. And no damage done. No score as the Rangers come to bat in the bottom of the first. of the first, and there's a guy having fun with his mom on Mother's Day at the ballpark. And here's Southwest Airlines with the Rangers batting order. Ian, Elvis, and Michael. Beltre, Napoli, and Murphy in the middle of the order, followed by Torrealba. Craig Gentry getting his first start of the year, and Julio Bourbon in the 9-hole against CC Sabathia. The first pitch from the big lefty on the way. And here's the scouting report on CC.
He's definitely one of the workhorses and one of the quality pitchers in baseball. He's had 7 starts, surprisingly, with a 2.68 ERA, and being supported by the Yankee offense. He's only 2-2. 47 innings, only 14 walks, 8 extra base hits allowed, second fewest in the American League for pitchers with 30 innings or more. Had a start in New York against the Rangers earlier in the season. Got a no decision, pitched into the 7th inning, gave up 4 runs in that ball game.
And so the Rangers will try to pick up offensively where they left off yesterday. And that one's grounded to third. Long throw, and they can't make the play. Over the head of Tex.
That ball stayed fair. And when Rodriguez caught it, he was a little bit back on his heels. And when he tried to make the throw all the way across the diamond, the ball sailed on him over the first baseman's head. And the Rangers get the leadoff man on. Gonna go. Well, they've got a hit and an error. It's got to be one or the other, I guess.
Yeah, it's an error 5. They call it an error on A-Rod.
Oh, there we go. I'm looking at the Yankees anyway.
And here comes Elvis. He's bunting.
If that throw was accurate to first base, it was going to be a pretty close play. I think they probably would have had him, which is why the scorekeeper felt it was an error. But it would have been a close play.
As it is, Ian's on first base. And Elvis, well adorned in pink, is at the plate with an 0-1 count. And he slices this one toward right, but foul. To make it 0-2, Elvis has hit safely in 18 of his last 20 games. The average 304 in that span. There you see it. Hit safely in 18 of those. The appeal to first. Didn't go around. So it's a ball and 2 strikes. Rangers have the team batting average back up to 261, 4th in the American League. And that one's outside, so it's 2-2 to Elvis. Start number 76 in the Yankee career of CC Sabathia. 42-17 is he in the first 75. And Elvis slices this one towards right as well, but coming on to make the play is Nick Swisher. And with Swisher out there in the outfield, it's Curtis Granderson and Brett Gardner going back the other way. Rodriguez and Jeter on the left side. Robinson, Cano, and Mark Teixeira hold down the right side of the infield. Francisco Cervelli is in there for Russell Martin at the catching position.
Hey, you mentioned Sabathia's record as a Yankee. He became a free agent a couple of years ago and signed a huge 7-year contract with the Yankees. And everybody is always concerned in baseball about a 7-year contract for a pitcher. But if you're going to give that kind of a contract to a pitcher, this is the kind of guy you want to give it to. A guy that's durable and a guy that gives you quality innings and quality starts. Since he's been a Yankee, he's averaged about 233, 234 innings pitched. He's taken his turn every time. Won 19 games one year, 21 games the other year. And so the Yankees, for their investment 2 years into that 7-year contract, are ecstatic over the way he's performed. A lot of guys, you wonder whether after 7 years they're going to be able to give you 220 innings every year. For that money, that's what you expect. That's what you're paying for.
Outside to Michael Young as we take a look at the active strikeout leaders and see where CC ranks on that list. 1,829 of them. And there's a walk to Michael Young. So there are runners at first and second for the Rangers. 1 out. Adrian Beltre, the cleanup hitter, comes up. He was 5 for 12 against the Yankees in that series at Yankee Stadium in the middle of April. First pitch to him is outside for a ball. It has been 13 games without a home run for Adrian. He leads the team with 7 on the year.
Well, if he leads the team with 7, and it's been a while since he's hit one, and the count's 2-0, and it's home in our ballpark, must be a good time for the call right here.
Wow, an early call. I like it.
The stars are aligned for the call right here.
I like an early call here. Add to that the Rangers are 3-0 on Mother's Day against the Yankees, and it's just all kismet here. Now it's 3 balls and no strikes. They're afraid of the call.
Well, if they are, they're going to load the bases.
Yeah.
Yeah, unusual for Sabathia to walk Michael and come right back. 3 straight balls to Beltre.
That one's in there after 7 straight errant pitches. 7 straight balls thrown before that strike to make it 3-1. Adrian does have 3 RBIs in the last 6 games. And he walked them. They did walk the bases loaded. And here comes Mike Napoli.
Have kind of been in this situation in the last week before. I think it was Eric Bedard in Seattle. Through 30 or 35 pitches in the first inning. Rangers had him on the ropes. Didn't get the big hit, and then he settled down. And I guess Sabathia would be a prime candidate for that same situation. Great pitcher. Get him while he's struggling early in the game so he doesn't get a chance to get out of this inning and then settle down.
Yeah, remember a similar thing happened against Cahill in the first inning of the game in Oakland.
Yeah, maybe it was Cahill too. Yeah, Cahill, he walked 3, didn't he?
Yeah,
in the
he
first
sure
inning.
enough did, yep. And he got out of it.
Yeah, and then settled down,
yeah.
Pitched a great game.
Big wave and a miss from Mike there. Mike's a .259 hitter against lefties this year with 4 of his 6 home runs. coming against left-handed pitching. Bases loaded in the first inning with Rangers. 1 out. And a breezy but warm day. 86 degrees for first pitch here. And that's in there for a strike on the outside part. Mike DeMuro behind the plate, calling balls and strikes today. Sabathia has still thrown more balls than strikes in the inning. 12 balls, 9 strikes, and a 21 pitch frame so far. That one misses, and the appeal says there was no swing.
Good call at first base.
Andy Fletcher down there.
Got to look at it from the side. Came close, but he held up. Tough call for an umpire. They don't get the benefit of that replay like we do. They've got to be aware of everything on the field and still be able to make the call on that check swing.
And the 2-2 pitch. Slap foul.
Oh, what a play by a mother in the front row.
Oh, no kidding.
Yeah.
Good for you, Mom.
Bounced off the back wall, straight down to her. She reached out and snagged it.
Kinsler's at third base. Michael Young is at second, and Adrian Beltre over there at first base. Ian reached on an error, the other two via the walk. And so the bases are loaded for Mike Napoli. He hits it hard into left field. 1 run is home. Here comes the second as it's bobbled by Gardner out there. Safe at third base is Adrian Beltre. Mike Napoli is on second base, and the Rangers have a 2-0 Mother's Day lead.
That's a big hit. Big hit early in the game. Sabathia is struggling. Gardner booted the ball out in left field. If he'd thrown to second base, he might have been able to keep Napoli at first or get him going to second base. He chose to throw to third. Didn't have much of a chance to get Beltre going into third base. So the Rangers get a good start to the game when A-Rod booted the ball, actually threw it wild, made an error, started the inning, couple of walks, and now a big hit by Napoli. Bases loaded. And he's still second and third and 1 out.
Just found that perfect hole between the third baseman and the shortstop. A couple of future Hall of Famers, and they couldn't find it. And then when Gardner lost the handle, it allowed the runners to get to second and third. Brings up David Murphy. Murph loves playing in the day. He's hit safely in 9 of 10 day games this year. And the location problems continue for Sabathia. He's behind 2-0 to David Murphy. That was a single with an E7. Error on Gardner. 2 RBIs for Mike Napoli. And the 2-0 pitch to Murph. Sliced into left field. Gardner comes on and makes the play. Tagging at third and coming home to score safely. Adrian Beltre's in there.
Good job by Murphy against a tough left-handed pitcher. Got the infield back. You can hit a ground ball to score a run, but you have to put the ball in play. A lot of ways you can score them. And the line drive to left field is certainly one of them. Gardner comes up firing. His throw is a little bit down the first baseline. Pretty strong throw, but fortunately it's just a little bit offline. And Rangers pick up their third run. Still have a man at third base.
And they have not let CC Sabathia off the hook here. They've pushed 3 across the plate in the first inning.
tagging. The catch is made. Here he comes. He throws up the line just enough to allow Adrian to slide in safely. Rangers have 3 in and only 1 hit. Rally started with an error and 2 walks.
And the error and 2 walks have all 3 scored. To supply this 3-0 lead. Jorvik Torrealba at the plate. And Sabathia is outside with that one to make it 2 balls and a strike. This one's hit towards second. Cano is up with it and makes the play. But the Rangers start big against CC Sabathia. How about 3 runs with the benefit of just 1 hit in the inning? It's 3-0 Texas after 1. And here comes Jim Knox.
All right, John, thank you very much. Happy Mother's Day to all those mothers out there today, and also all the mothers attending today. Yeah, give them a great hand. Good to have them out here. And, you know, across Major League Baseball this afternoon, a lot of the players wearing these pink wristbands, also coming to the plate with pink bats, because MLB is teaming up with the Susan Jean Komen awareness, that is to bring awareness and also fight against breast cancer. In order to get and help out this great organization, what you can do is go to MLB.com. They are going to actually auction off the used pink bats, and the proceeds will go to help out this great cause. So go to MLB.com, MLB.com. Let's go, mothers. Let's get them going. All right, there we go. John.
Noxie, thanks very much. Thanks to those moms and dads who are out there helping fire things up for us today. Robinson Cano stepping in against Dave Bush. And for the 4th time in 5 batters today, Dave starts him off with a strike. That's 4 of 5 first pitch strikes. And make it 0-2 to Cano. Dave needed just 14 pitches in that first inning.
He had a couple of big outs with Jeter at third base. He popped up to Scher and popped up A-Rod. 2 big RBI guys. Didn't get it done in the first inning.
And now it's Cano who's hit safely in 22 of 25, the last 25 games. And he hits this one in the air to right field, but Craig Gentry is there, and he makes the play. For the first out of the second inning.
Slow curveball by Dave. It kind of works two purposes. It moves and goes down a lot, and the change of speed fooled Cano, had him out in front of it, reached for it, lofted that lazy fly ball. Even though Dave's fastball is 87 to 88, 89, right around in there, which is by major league standards velocity-wise below average. When you combine that slow curveball to his repertoire, fastball looks a little bit quicker to the hitter. There's a nice slow curveball again.
And a first pitch strike again.
He has good command of that curveball. He can throw it for a strike, or he can try to throw it down in the dirt and get a hitter to swing at a bad pitch when he's ahead in the count.
This one's grounded weakly towards shortstop. Elvis has it. Gets it to Mike Napoli. It's the second out of the inning.
A good curveball, even in the big leagues, is a great pitch. Most big league hitters are fastball hitters, and a pitcher with a good curveball has a good chance, even against the best big league hitters.
Some of whom populate this Yankees lineup so far this year. Jorge Posada, not one of them. Batting a .146. His numbers have not been good as a designated hitter. 118 games, just a .204 average.
And amazingly on the season, batting right-handed, he's 0 for 23. Hasn't had a hit yet right-handed. Of course, he's not hitting right-handed right now.
And that one's in there for a strike. It evens it up at 1-1. He has managed 4 hits on the road trip, 4 of 21 from the left side. But of his 14 hits on the year, 6 have been home runs. Amazing total when you figure the 146 average that he has 6 long balls. That one just misses. And it's 3-1.
A little bit outside. And for some pitchers, getting a spot start against the Yankees in front of 50,000 people would be a fairly intimidating proposition. But you have to remember, Dave is a veteran. He's been in the starting rotation for a major league team, either Toronto or, for the most part, Milwaukee, his whole major league career. So getting a start, something he's comfortable with. Pitching against the Yankees, something he's done before.
Swing and a miss, and it's a 1-2-3 inning for Dave Bush. He sets down the side in order. Here come the Rangers in the second with a 3-0 lead on Mother's Day. Second inning, and Craig Gentry steps in for his first at-bat since being recalled yesterday. He was a defensive replacement yesterday in for Mitch Moreland, who had a great day at the plate.
Yeah, after watching Craig bounce around in the outfield during spring training, smashing into walls, diving for balls, nice to see him healthy so he can get an opportunity to come back to the big leagues. We were doing that game where he smashed into the wall. I think that was against the
White Sox.
What was it? White Sox,
yeah. I think it was.
The complex they share with the Dodgers.
That'll make it 2-1 to him. 32 career games with the Rangers since his debut back in '09 for Gentry.
You look at Craig as a player, he's an above average fielder, thrower, and runner. What kind of an offensive player he becomes pretty much determines his role on a major league team.
He draws a walk there, and he becomes a threat on the base paths immediately. Another Verizon Wireless Friday, Fireworks Friday is this week when the Rangers host the Angels. Enter Verizon as the coupon code on TexasRangers.com to purchase $10 tickets in select seating areas. You'll also enjoy $5 cash parking and that post-game fireworks show. Verizon Wireless. Fireworks Friday this Friday with the Angels in town. Julio Bourbon is bunting, popped up.
Well, if you're going to pop one up, I'm glad it was that one and not the one on the squeeze play last night. Getting back to Craig Gentry, if his hitting comes around, then he gets a lot more playing time at the big league level. First, maybe against left-handed pitching, and then if he continues to develop as a hitter, he can become a valuable guy that gets a lot of playing time because of all the other things he does on the field. If the hitting doesn't come around, that he's, in my opinion, he's still a big league player because he can come in for defense, he can pitch, run, he can do a lot of things for you. But the offense is still a developing part of his game.
Because of that speed, the Rangers had every intention of trying to get him on any number of the postseason rosters last year. But he had that broken wrist late in the season and was unable to get healthy enough in time to make those postseason rosters. And there he goes. Throw down to second. Not in time. Craig Gentry with a steal.
You can see Ian knew he was going. Kind of wiggled the bat in front of Cervelli's eyes, hoping it would throw him off a little bit. Don't know if it did or not, but the throw was low and bounced. Good jump by Gentry. You see the speed, the slide, and almost overslid the bag, but he was able to keep his foot right on the bag. You see the tag on the foot in case it did go past the bag.
Tremendous control of that left foot as he slid in there. And a check swing foul by Ian. So it's no balls and 2 strikes to the leadoff man, who reached the first time up on an error by Alex Rodriguez. Ian scored a run in the first inning. Then he fouls another one off. Already 41 pitches thrown by CC Sabathia, who walked a couple of batters in the first inning and already has a walk here in the second. That one's inside. +16 extra base hits on the year for Ian. Still has him tied for 5th in the American League. His last extra base hit, a double in Seattle in that last game on Thursday night. And that one's outside. Evens things up at 2-2. Sabathia, downright un-Sabathia-like here today. And the Rangers taking advantage so far, a 3-0 lead. And that one's grounded to third base. And the play is made by Alex Rodriguez.
Well, it was a ground ball to third, but Ian still made Sabathia throw 6 or 7 pitches. 44 pitches now with 2 outs in the second inning.
And it brings up Elvis. He popped out in the first inning. But he comes to the plate with a .345 average with runners in scoring position. Craig Gentry's at second base. There you see the rest of the numbers. 11 RBIs with those runners in scoring position. Michael Young waiting on deck. Inside. Makes it 2-0.
Good hitter's count for a guy that likes to hit with men in scoring position. Has good success at it. Got Michael up next, so you don't have to expand the strike zone right here. Make him throw you a good pitch. If he does, line it into center field.
In there for a strike. It's 2-1.
22 strikes, 25 balls for Sabathia.
And sneaking up on 50 pitches already. Good question comes from the truck. Can a guy Sabathia's size sneak up on anything, really? I don't think so. It's a big man.
As far as pitch counts go, those are just like digits. I don't think they're too aware of how big or how small a guy is. So, yeah, they could sneak up on a pitch count.
They have no fear, those digits.
How about that?
How about there? Nice piece of hitting by Elvis Andrus. Run scores, 4-0 Rangers.
Make some contact, find a hole. Teixeira playing way off the line. Ground ball by Elvis inside the bag for a base hit. And Elvis continues to make good contact and drive in runs when he has a chance with men in scoring position.
And it brings up Michael Young. Elvis with the RBI single. 12 RBIs now with runners in scoring position.
And I would think Sabathia would be concerned about Elvis because he's probably going to go if he gets a good jump.
5 steals in the last 10 games for Elvis.
Got a good sized lead.
9 steals on the year for the Rangers shortstop, and he's yet to be caught among American League players. He has the highest number of stolen bases without being caught. 9 for 9. This one slapped towards shortstop. They go the short way and get Elvis there, but the Rangers do get another run. And Sabathia's walk comes home again. It's 4-0 Texas. Southwest is brought to you by Geico Insurance, where 15 minutes could save you 15% on car insurance. And you see the breeze blowing here at Rangers Ballpark in Arlington. And you should have brought your mom. Sorry, Mom, wish you were here. Get her a ticket. Bring her out to the ball game. Happy Mother's Day to you and yours. And Mom is missing out if she's not here today. She could be here with 50,000 of her closest friends and Rangers fans and watching the Rangers get out to an early lead against the Yankees.
We've got some Mother's Day goodies were sent up to us today. I want to thank Gene Clark from Amarillo and Sally Haney from Gainesville for the spiced pecans.
Very good.
And no last names, but I met Tom and his grandmother Martha, who sent up the batch of cookies that are up here. Thank you, everybody.
And that one is sliced out there into center field by Gardner. Second hit of the game for the Yankees. And here comes Francisco Cervelli. Backup catcher missed the first 22 games of the year with a fractured left foot. So this is just his third appearance of the season. And it's one of the reasons that Russell Martin was the last player in Major League Baseball this year to get an inning off. That actually happened the last time we played the Yankees when we were in New York. Like Gentry and Elvis, Gardner always a threat to steal over there. In his career, he's got an 82.6 success rate in steals. And there's a strike. So it's 1-1 to the ninth place man, Cervelli. Dave needed only 11 pitches to complete that 1-2-3 second inning. And he will check Brett Gardner back. That one misses. So it's 2 balls and a strike to Cervelli. Hit .271 last year. 38 runs batted in 2010. And the 2-1 from Bush as the runner goes. Throw down to second. It's Elvis covering, and in there is Gardner.
A big jump. No catcher was going to throw him out on that one.
.91 successful steals and 110 attempts in his career now for Gardner.
Yeah, Gardner this year had only been 4 out of 8. That one was stolen on the pitcher, not the catcher.
And that one is grounded to Adrian Beltre at third. Long throw, safe at first base. The throw drew Mike Napoli's foot off the bag.
It's kind of a similar play that Rodriguez had in the first inning with Kinsler hitting, only I think on that one Adrian was a little farther back. Mike did everything he could to catch that ball and stay on the bag. Just couldn't quite do it. Tough pickup and a long throw. Just couldn't quite stay on the bag.
Still no ruling on it as they look at it. But there are runners at first and second. And it is an error. Very tough call, but an E. And now it's the top of the order again. Take another look at it.
Long throw, about as long a throw as you could have as a third baseman. Would have been out if he was able to throw it accurately. But still a tough play. So you got a blooper and a little grounder, first and second, nobody out. Looking for the double play ball right here.
Jeter had a single his first time up. He's actually got hits in his first at bat in 5 of the 7 games on this 7-game road trip for the Yankees. And this one is sliced to right field. Gentry coming on. It's down in front of him and fair. Rounding third and headed home is Gardner. He's in with the first Yankees run.
Well, tough rally. 2 bloopers and a ground ball. Jeter gets jammed and just loops that little ground ball in front of Gentry in right field.
Just stayed fair. Gives Jeter his 7th run batted in of the season. And the runners are at first and third now with nobody out. And now it's Curtis Granderson. Only Bautista with a better slugging percentage than he. There's a strike. Granderson grounded out his first time up. Yeah, and look at that. 39% fastballs, 61% off-speed stuff.
There's an effective fastball.
At 87 miles an hour. And now Dave's ahead of him at 1-2 strikes.
Yeah, no matter what your velocity, you have to be able to pitch in to keep the hitter honest. You can't let him hang out over the plate and look for fastballs away and off-speed pitches. You have to be able to bust them in. That's the purpose of that last pitch.
That'll even things up at 2-2 to Granderson. And that's into right field for a base hit. On to score is Cervelli. And the Rangers' lead has been cut in half. To a pretty healthy chorus of boos. Here comes Mark Teixeira, former Rangers first baseman. They've got him with a pop-up in that first inning. See if he can jam him with another one and get the first out of this inning. The Yankees have pushed 2 across. Here in the top of the third, they got runners at first and second, and nobody out. After tremendous success with first ball strikes in the first couple of innings, Dave hasn't thrown one yet here in this frame. Tex hits this one in the air. Julio Bourbon back in front of the warning track, makes the play. And both runners are able to advance.
A good base running by Granderson on that long fly ball. He tagged up at first and was able to keep the Yankees out of a double play situation by taking that base.
And it brings up Alex Rodriguez. More boos. A much louder chorus of them from the Rangers fans here. He popped up to the catcher his first time up. He was 0 for 3 yesterday with a walk and a run scored. And that one's high to him for a ball. Dave Bush has had success against the Yankees before. In fact, he tossed his first complete game shutout against the Yankees in his final start of his rookie year in 04. Fouled off by A-Rod to make it 1-1. And 3 of Dave's 5 starts against New York have been quality starts.
That's not a good stat right there. Runner on third, less than 2 outs. A-Rod's only got the runner in 4 out of 10 times.
Wow. Oh, he hit it. Girardi and the trainers come out. Check on Alex Rodriguez.
Anytime a ball's up there, you just hope the hitter somehow gets hit somewhere other than in the head. And that looked like it hit him right near the number 1 on his uniform, the shoulder blade.
88-mile-an-hour pitch that got him. And it brings up Cano with the bases loaded and 1 out.
It does set up a double play ball. Cano has hit into 5 double plays already, so he's definitely a candidate.
This one is popped up. Going back is Ian. Coming on is Julio Bourbon. He makes the play. The throw in and the runner stays. Big out.
Big out for Dave. Got the bases loaded, 1 out. You got a dangerous 300 hitter up there. And you've also got a center fielder whose throwing arm is improving rapidly and makes a strong, accurate throw to the plate. Not a very deep ball, but you still have to make the throw. It's a good pitch. It looked like a cut fastball or a slider that got in on Cano just a little bit. Only 1 pitch away from keeping it a 4-2 ball game.
It brings up Swisher. Who's hitting 400 as a right-handed batter, but he's on the left side against the right-handed David Bush. Swisher grounded out to short his first time up. That's in there for a strike. There you see the situation. Jeter is at third base. Curtis Granderson is at second base, with Alex Rodriguez having been hit by a pitch over at first. 2 runs in for the Yankees here in the third inning. Rangers still lead at 4-2. And the 0-1 pitch. Strike 2 on appeal. And now the crowd gets into it, nearly 50,000 strong, cheering on Dave Bush. Bases loaded with Yankees. And the 0-2 pitch to Swisher. Blocked well by Torrealba.
There's that breaking ball way down, trying to get the hitter to swing at a bad pitch, but right on top of home plate, as a matter of fact.
And here comes the 10th man again. Swing and a miss. And their cheers are rewarded. Bush striking out Swisher with the bases loaded, and it's 4-2 Texas. Tap, cleanup man due, Adrian Beltre. And look at this little guy. Having fun with his mom and his sister on Mother's Day at the ballpark. CC Sabathia just threw his 51st pitch. He threw 31 in the first inning, 19 in the second. And he now finally has more strikes than balls at 26 strikes and 25 balls. That one is popped up. Cano is under it and makes the play. as we check in with Jim Knox.
All right, John, thank you very much. Honorary Batgirl for the Texas Rangers today, Leslie Sewell from Louisiana, single mother of 6, diagnosed with breast cancer 2006, but now you're clear.
Yes.
All right. Well, 5 years. Congratulations. That will be tomorrow. How did you become the honorary Batgirl?
We had a friend that submitted our story to the contest for the MLB for the honorary Batgirl for the Texas Rangers. Joshua's teacher and my dear friend submitted that story.
And all our kids on hand today, and every one of them plays baseball except the oldest one, who's 25 years old. Got to meet some of the Rangers before the game. What was that like?
That was incredible. Yeah, it meant a lot to us. We're big Rangers fans, big baseball fans. It was just awesome.
Awesome.
Great Mother's Day present.
Great Mother's Day present. Well, happy Mother's Day and congratulations. Now, you're not only continuing to serve as a medical doctor, but you also bring awareness of breast cancer. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
All right, Leslie Sewell. Thanks, guys.
Thank you, Noxie. Great stuff. How does that beautiful young lady have a 25-year-old?
I don't know.
And she's a doctor and a mother of 6? Good for you, Leslie. Congratulations. And it's one of the things we are commemorating here with all the pink. There's awareness for the fight against breast cancer on this Mother's Day. To third base. And there are 2 outs here in the 3rd inning. And it'll bring up David Murphy.
That's a good look right there, in case you got an extra hat with you.
Yeah, they gave those visors away today. And so there you go. You got a bedazzled tee on there. And a place for it. Grounded by David towards second slowly. And they just do get him at first base. A quick inning this time by C.C. Sabathia. Rangers still with the lead, though. We're through 3 innings. And it's 4-2 Texas. Oh, they got the runs without the benefit of only 1 hit, an error, and then a couple of walks, and then Mike Napoli with a couple of RBIs to drive into. David Murphy with a sacrifice fly. He brought Adrian Beltre home sliding, and then the Rangers made Sabathia pay for a walk in the 2nd inning as well, as Craig Gentry walked and then came home thanks to Elvis Andrus, and it made it 4-0. It's now 4-2. In favor of the Rangers as Dave Bush is back out there.
Well, you're exactly right, John. The Rangers took advantage of the 3 walks Sabathia has issued today. All 3 guys have scored. He wanted to take advantage of his wildness early, put some runs on the board. The Rangers did that. They got 4 of them early. Dave Bush did an excellent job of pitching out of damage. He had a little blooper, an error, a couple more hits, and then he pitched out of it right through the middle of the lineup. Got Teixeira, got Cano, struck out Swisher with the bases loaded.
Tough guys to face there, and he got through that. Now he's got the bottom third of the order in Posada, Gardner, and Cervelli. And he's ahead of Jorge. A ball and 2 strikes. And it's grounded right back to Bush. Easy play over to Mike Napoli for the first out of the inning. And this Saturday, the Rangers concert series continues with Toby Mac performing on the North Lawn at 1 o'clock, presented by I Am Second. Then the Rangers face the Angels. It's a 3:10 game. Note the start time, 3:10 for the Rangers and Angels on Saturday. For tickets to a Saturday of family fun at Rangers Ballpark, call 972-RANGERS or go to TexasRangers.com. Brett Gardner now, he had a single his first time up and scored a run. Adrian Beltre in on the infield grass against Gardner. Mike Napoli in a bit as well. Gardner was a defensive replacement for Andrew Jones in last night's game. Got 1 at bat. He was 0 for 1.
That slow curveball. Yes. Had good success with that slow curveball today.
69 miles an hour that time.
There have been a lot of takes, some swings way out in front of it, some weak outs on it. Even though that pitch is right down the middle of the plate, the change of speed and the big break to it continues to make it a tough pitch for the Yankees.
And this one is slapped toward left field. David Murphy coming on and makes the play.
And there's another slow curve and another weak swing.
And now it's Cervelli.
Had that one a little bit out of the strike zone. Got Gardner to swing at it. Gardner's one of the guys you want to keep off the bases because he's a definite stolen base threat. He's already stolen 1.
Cervelli reached on an error the first time up, a tough error on Adrian Beltre. He had to go deep in the hole in third to try to make the long throw.
It's kind of a consistent scoring decision because there was a similar one on Alex Rodriguez to start the game. I think Adrian was a little bit farther back and a slightly longer throw, but both similar. Close plays at first base, long throws. One was high, one pulled the first baseman off the bag, and I think the scorekeeper must have thought if he ruled one an error, he had to go with an error on the other one too. But they looked a lot easier than they really were.
Three balls and no strikes to Cervelli as Dave Bush works here with 2 outs in the 4th inning. In there for a strike to make it 3-1. And this one's grounded towards Elvis at short. He's up with it, makes the play, and it's another 1-2-3 inning for David Bush. Rangers going to bat in the bottom of the 4th with a 4-2 lead.
course, to my beautiful wife, my 2 grandmas back home, and to all the rest of the mothers out there, just a happy Mother's Day. Hope you guys have a great day and enjoy it.
Thank you, Colby Lewis. We appreciate that. And I know all those moms out there do too, not just the ones related to you, but all those mothers. Happy Mother's Day from all of us here at the Texas Rangers. Strike from CC Sabathia. The Rangers did not make him work very hard in that 3rd inning. He threw only 6 pitches. Came into the inning at 50. Now he's just at 57. And he's ahead of Torey Alba. Big cut and a miss. It's time for our Geico quote of the game, and it's from Derek Holland on Laker fan Michael Young. I might just have to get a Mavericks jersey and put it in his locker, says Derek Holland. He actually went on to say, I'll make it a number 10 with Young on the back. Swing and a miss. Jorvich down on strikes. Lots of the Rangers, not just the players, the clubhouse people, and a lot of the Mavericks fans in the area having fun with Michael Young, who's a huge Lakers fan.
There's a huge Mavs fan right there.
Yeah.
Got a way to beat the cold.
Mavericks and the Lakers getting set to tip off in a few minutes.
Now, not being a tremendous NBA fan, I like the Mavs and I watch a lot of games. How would you compare? Would you compare the Mavs beating the Lakers to the Rangers beating the Yankees last year? Is that at all similar?
Yeah, I think it's a very apt comparison. The two storied franchises from either coast in these 2 games. And like the Rangers, who had such problems with the Yankees in the late 90s, the Mavs have had tremendous problems with the Lakers over the years, particularly in the 80s when the Mavericks had their first playoff team. So
the Mav fans will be there watching, and when that game ends with the Mavs on top, they'll have the same feeling as our fans when Felice struck out A-Rod to end that game?
I think it'll be very similar, except this one does not qualify the Mavericks to go further than they've ever gone before.
Oh, okay.
So there's a little difference there. The Mavs, of course, made the NBA Finals back in 2006. This would qualify them for the Western Conference Finals. That is blooped out into right field, and a nice play by Cano.
Yeah, outfielders love infielders that can go back after pop-ups because it allows you to play a little bit deeper, not have to worry about those little bloopers. Caught that one easily.
We flash back to what we were just talking about. October the 22nd, 2010, and what a night it was here at Rangers Ballpark in Arlington. Feliz gets Alex Rodriguez to end the game, and the Rangers are headed to the World Series. I get chills once again just looking at the video of that very special night here.
Well, if the moment for the Mavs fans when they beat the Lakers feels at all like that, I wish I could be there so I could feel that same feeling again. That was great.
It was an unbelievable night here at Rangers Ballpark in Arlington, an unforgettable night. Easy to forget games like Fridays. Impossible to forget what happened the previous time before Friday that the Rangers played. But in similar fashion, like the Yankees, who were the defending champions when the Rangers beat them, right now the Lakers are the defending champions, as we see Ryan Tucker out there in the bullpen. So there are tremendous similarities. And that one is right back up the middle. How about Julio Bourbon?
It was a good game for Julio last night. Got himself a base hit against CC Sabathia today. And with 2 outs, he'd be a definite threat to run right here.
And we check in with Emily Jones.
Guys, a big boxing match going on last night as well, and apparently CC Sabathia is a big boxing fan. Wanted to get that Pacquiao Mosley fight, and it's not just like paying $59.95 at home. pay-per-view wise to get that thing, to have it broadcast here in the ballpark in the clubhouses and stuff. You had to pay a pretty hefty fee, but both clubhouses were the beneficiary of getting to watch that fight thanks to Mr. Sabathia.
Well, that was awfully kind of CC, Emily.
I didn't even know you could do that. Of course, I think whatever it cost was a mere bag of shells to him.
It's like $1 to CC. I think we heard it was 4 figures, over 1,000, but yeah. For CC, that's not a big problem.
In fact, he tips the clubhouse guy more than that, probably.
But I imagine once it was brought in here, any TV in the building could have gotten it. So we're told in the thousands anyway. So a 4-figure expenditure in any event.
I hope it was a good fight.
Maybe too good. He's behind Ian. 2 balls and no strikes. And Dr. Emily Jones reports it was not a good fight.
Ah, okay. Glad I didn't shell out the thousands for it.
Or even the $59.95. Barbone out, safe. Originally called out down there by Tim Welke, and then the call was changed to safe.
Yeah, I'm not sure he was ever out on that play. 5 stolen bases for Julio. And in scoring position again. Let's take a look.
See what Welke saw here.
He was never out. That hand was in there safe to begin with.
Oh, but he dropped the ball.
Yeah, he never caught the ball. I mean, even if he held the ball.
Even if he held it, he was safe. But I'm not sure Welke would have given it to him. He definitely made the out call and then changed it to safe. First and second after the walk to Ian.
You got Elvis up. Another opportunity here. Last inning, second inning. Base hit to right field, drove in a run. With 2 outs at the same situation, only got an extra man on base now. It was man on second. Now it's first and second.
Larry Rothschild comes out to chat with CC Sabathia. Even as Gary Pettis and Ian Kinsler have a chat at first base. Rangers have a 2-game winning streak going on Mother's Day. And as I mentioned, they're 3-0 against the Yankees on Mom's Day, including a doubleheader sweep of the Yankees back in 1986 on Mother's Day. The Rangers have played doubleheaders twice on Mother's Day, 79 and 86. And the only year that the Rangers have not played a game in their existence here in Texas on Mother's Day was 2006. They got rained out in Boston that day. Every other year they've played on Mother's Day. And have a 22-18 record. And have a 4-2 lead in this Mother's Day tilt, with a chance to make it some more. Runners at first and second for Elvis Andrus. And that one's slapped foul, out of play. Makes it no balls and 2 strikes. (13 RBI on the year now for Elvis. That has him 3rd in the American League among shortstops in the RBI total. Runners are going. And no throw.
It's that double steal that Ron Washington likes to use. It's 2 outs, so there's risk involved, but if you can make it, you've got an extra man in scoring position. It takes away the force out on a ground ball, lets you have a better chance to beat out an infield hit. Well, if they're going to give it to you, why not take it?
So they're at second and third. The 1-2 pitch hit hard but foul into the seats down the left side. Sellout crowd here enjoying every minute of this one as the Rangers lead at 4-2. CC Sabathia has thrown 75 pitches in his 76th start as a Yankee. That 6-pitch third inning, long since forgotten. And that one's outside to even things up at 2-2. Here's Elvis in the second inning, and yes, that was a perfectly placed single down the right field line and another base hit with a runner in scoring position. Another RBI for him in that situation, too. And now he's got a chance to do it again. 2-2 pitch. Outside to run the count full. Michael Young waits on deck. The crowd gets into it here. Nearly 50,000 strong. And a strike 3 called.
97 miles an hour. That's his best fastball of the day. Zipped on the outside corner in a key situation. He definitely reached back for all he had right there.
And he got Elvis. But it's still 4-2 Texas after 4. We say hello and welcome to Mark McLemore. Good to have you in the booth, Mac.
Good to be in the booth on Mother's Day.
It is. It's a nice day and a nice way to celebrate Mother's Day. You, of course, part of Rangers Live, the pregame and the postgame show. And the best postgame wrap-up and pregame setting the table you can find anywhere. Dave Bush back out there after a 13-pitch fourth inning. He got the bottom third of the Yankees order in order. Now he faces the top and Jeter. And he slices that one foul. Jeter looked different to you, Mac?
He does. Tag and I were talking about that yesterday. He just doesn't seem as though he can get around on that fastball like he used to. And you know, and a lot of times, even when he gets the inside fastball, he'd be able to drive it into the right center field gap, and it just doesn't look like he's able to do that right now.
In the air. and driven. His first home run of the year is in the bullpen.
Mac, you don't think Jeter was listening to you right then, do you?
I think he was listening to somebody gave him a signal, said, Mac just said this about you. Yeah. I think he heard it.
I thought I read his lips when he crossed the plate. He said, "Take that, Mac." I think is what he was saying.
He's tuned in to what we're talking about right now.
Washington headed toward the mound.
Oh, he's trying to throw that pitch down and away. It looked like it pretty much got the center of the plate right there.
Well, I don't feel so bad then.
And that's it for Dave Bush. First batter of the 5th inning, Jeter takes him deep. That makes it 4-3. We'll break with the pitching change on Fox. Has been trimmed to 1, and there's a pitching change at the ballpark. Dave Bush's day is done. Ryan Tucker replaces him now. And there you see the numbers on Ryan so far.
Yeah, Ryan's got a chance to come in and get a win. Got a lead right now. If the Rangers maintain this same lead, Ryan pitches well, he can get himself a big league victory. Gave up a home run to Granderson the other day. Other than that, he threw the ball pretty well and has been throwing the ball well in the 3 times he's appeared. He's got a good fastball with some pretty good movement on it. And here's Granderson again.
Yep.
You know, I like a guy like Tucker that comes out of the bullpen that throws hard. You want to have those guys, as many guys as possible coming out of the bullpen, but obviously they need to throw strikes. But coming out of the bullpen that can really run it up there. As a hitter, you don't really like seeing that coming out of the bullpen. You want it, 87, 88 miles an hour, but when you've got a guy that can come out of there throwing 94, 95 with some movement, it makes him very difficult to hit.
That's the one thing the Rangers had in their bullpen last year.
Granderson turns on this one, and it's off the wall. Good play by Gentry to hold him to a single.
With Felice and Ogando and Frankie Francisco, they had those hard throwers coming out of the bullpen. Well, it stayed in the ballpark, and it's only a single. We're about halfway up the wall, and there's no way Granderson could try to go to second. As it turned out, he might have made it, but he didn't know that when Gentry let go of the ball.
Gentry played the carom very well. And this one is hit toward left center field. Diving and not making the play. Julio Bourbon.
It hung up there. and Julio was playing pretty deep. He was playing around toward right center field, so he had a long run. He made a great try for it. Almost caught up with it. Slicing away from him. About another foot, he would have made a spectacular catch.
Now there are runners at second and third with Alex Rodriguez coming to the plate. Nobody out here in the fifth inning. Rangers' lead has been trimmed to 4-3 on the leadoff home run by Derek Jeter, his first of the year. Little outside there to A-Rod, and it's 1-0. That's low for a ball. Alex started the season on a tear, suffered through an oblique injury, and hasn't been the same hitter since he came back from the injury. Was hitting .412 in the first 2 weeks of the year. This one's grounded to short. It'll get a run home as Granderson comes in to score. And we're all tied up at 4 runs apiece. First out of the inning, runner still at second base. That's Mark Teixeira. And here's the batter, Cano.
And here's a guy they've got to be careful with. Cano is one of the hottest hitters, one of the best young hitters in the game right now. Had a tremendous year last year, and he always seems to swing the bat well against the Rangers.
This one is grounded to second base. Ian's up with it, and he got him.
And made a good pitch on him. Got the fastball, 92 miles an hour, in on his fists.
Teixeira moves to third.
Rangers have done a pretty good job with the middle of the Yankee lineup. There's a well-located fastball to a great hitter.
Very good. That's the movement that you're talking about, Tag, right there. Just at the last minute, almost act like a little bit of a cutter.
Yeah.
And just ran in on him, and nothing he can do about it.
And it brings up Swisher. He's 0 for 2 with a ground out and a strikeout.
If we get Swisher right here, we'll have a very similar game to last night's game. Rangers took a lead early. Yankees battled back and tied it in the middle of the ball game. Swisher struck out in the third inning. Bases loaded. Dave Bush made a great pitch to strike him out. Looked like a slider. Down and in.
Now Tucker with the 1-1 pitch. Swinging a foul. Makes it a ball and 2 strikes. And now the crowd trying to help Ryan Tucker out. This one's popped up. David Murphy under it and makes the play. And that'll do it for the Yankees here in the 5th. They tied things up with a couple of runs, but here come the Rangers against CC. Ballpark on Mother's Day. Michael Young in there, taking a first pitch strike from CC Sabathia. Bottom of the 5th inning. Young, the leadoff man, in this inning with a walk and a ground out.
Back on it. I'll ask you after this.
Here's your Ford leaderboard. And you see the Major League hits leaders. That's coming into today. And it's up to date. Ethier at 49. Young and Reyes at 47. Polanco at 46.
A lot of talk about the Mets maybe trading Reyes.
Grounded to first.
Mac, I was going to ask you, in a day game nowadays, you see so many players wearing sunglasses. When I played, all they had was the flip-down version of sunglasses. You probably spanned both, the flip-down and the permanent sunglasses. What were your views on wearing the type of shades they wear today?
Yeah, I did cover both, and I like the flip-downs, but the Oakleys, they were much better, I think, in the field, because especially if you're in the infield, a lot of times that backdrop behind home plate gets really, really bright, especially if you've got a lot of people back there with, you know, bright shirts on, white shirts. It makes it real difficult to see when you've got flip downs on. And really the only things that the flip downs help you with are fly balls. But the Oakleys take care of both ends, fly balls and all the glare around the infield.
Did you wear them to hit?
Could not.
I don't think I could either.
I couldn't even do it in batting practice. You know, the nose piece always, you know, got in my field of view. And it just bothered me. I still don't know how guys can go up there and look past that.
I can remember Pudge used to catch with them on.
That I can see, because some backdrops it's real tough to pick the ball up from behind home plate at certain parts of the day.
See, Cervelli's wearing them there.
Yep, he's got them on.
Adrian turns on that one, but foul. Do you wear sunglasses when you golf, Tom?
Yeah.
You do?
I wear them when I golf because I need the glasses to see the ball.
Oh, yeah, okay.
When it's, to see it really well.
As far as you hit it.
Yeah, right. No, to see it go into the woods. So I just wear sunglasses all the time. I can't wear my regular glasses on the golf course. They've got, the 3 different types of vision, and they just really mess me up if I tried to wear those.
So what you're saying is I need special glasses to be able to hit a golf ball.
Only if you have trouble seeing where they land. I can't wear the progressive ones on the course. Some people do. Victor Rojas used to wear them. I just couldn't get used to it.
I don't have trouble finding, seeing where it goes. I have trouble hitting it.
High in the air, Cano over to make the play in shallow right field. And vote now to send your favorite Rangers to the MLB All-Star Game in Phoenix when you cast your 25 ballots by June 30th at TexasRangers.com and choose the Rangers as one of your favorite teams. You'll receive a special ticket offer and get a chance to win a sweet night. Vote today at TexasRangers.com. 2 outs for Mike Napoli. He had the big hit back in the first inning, a 2-run single. For Mike, it was his first single since April the 19th. Of his 13 hits this season, 9 have been for extra bases, and he was on a string of 7 straight extra base hits until the 2-run single. He got to second on an error, but it was officially a single, and his first since the 19th of April. This one's check swing. Sabathia off the mound, and he can't hold it.
Well, the big guy got off the mound and looked like he was going to make the play and just wasn't able to pick it up. Mike didn't get out of the box very well. He was kind of knocked back on that check swing. So Sabathia had time while he picked it up.
It's a tough play for a left-hand pitcher you're falling towards the third baseline, then you've got to change direction and go back, and then when you get the ball, you've got to spin, and still you've got to make a perfect throw there for that lefty. So that's a tough play for a left-hand pitcher.
Had he been able to make the throw and got him out, fine. If he didn't, he might have gotten the call because Napoli was inside the baseline.
As it is, Napoli is at first base thanks to the E1. And it's the third error of the day for the Yankees. David Murphy at the plate, and that's a strike to him. It'll even things up at 1-1.
It forces Sabathia to throw some more pitches. He's at 90 pitches right now. Even though he's settled down significantly since the first inning, his pitch count got up high enough to where it's going to be difficult for him to pitch much more than 6 innings today.
Checks Napoli at first, and now concentrates on David Murphy. It's a strike on the outside part of the plate. Those 3 Yankee errors tie a season high for them. Yeah, that one looked like it was outside. David swings at that one, and nobody there to cover. Teixeira got the ball, but Cano did not make it over to first base to cover. And the Rangers have something cooking. Runners at first and second.
Yeah, it's tough play all the way around. Cano is playing back with 2 outs, and left-hand hitter up there. It's going to be tough for him to get over there. And Sabathia was not going to beat David Murphy to the bag. And Tex wasn't either, so it's just one of those balls, I guess, Mac, that's in no man's land. What should have happened there? Anything?
Well, if there's going to be a play made here, CC has to come and make that play, or Cano, because anytime that first baseman leaves first base and you've got a guy who can run a little bit, he's going to be safe every time.
Pretty much all over.
Yeah, because that second baseman's playing back at his normal depth, and there's no way he's going to be able to get to first base and stop and turn and get a throw. So as soon as that first baseman leaves, that's what you want. And when he leaves, that runner's usually going to be safe.
It's ruled a single for David Murphy. He's at first base. Mike Napoli is at second. Yorvit Torrealba is now at the plate. Yorvit's 0 for 2 on the day. A ground out and a strikeout his last time up in the 4th. Those 3 home runs have all come here at Rangers Ballpark. And that's outside from Sabathia to make it 1-2. High and away, and it's 2 balls and 2 strikes. To the Rangers catcher, who's hitting .298 here at Rangers Ballpark in 13, now his 14th game. Got 5 RBIs here to go with those 3 home runs. We've got David Murphy at first base, Mike Napoli at second, and a 2-2 count against CC Sabathia. This one's grounded in front of the plate.
Oh, boy.
And they make the play.
He bounced that ball to first base. If Teixeira bobbled that ball, Napoli would have scored. That would have been some kind of 2-out rally.
Unbelievable.
Hey, Mac, thanks for coming up and chatting with us. We'll watch on Rangers Live tonight. Mark McLemore with Dana The UEFA Champions League final comes to Fox with a rematch of the 2009 final. Barcelona faces Manchester United. Fox Sports exclusive coverage of the UEFA Champions League begins on Saturday, May 28th at 1 p.m. in high definition. Ryan Tucker back out there. And facing Posada and the bottom third of the order. But it's 3-0 to him. Jorge with a strikeout and a ground out right back to the pitcher in the fourth inning. That's in there for a strike to make it 3-1. Taylor Teagarden, who was sent down to Round Rock when Feliz was called up on Friday, making the most of his opportunities. He's 3 for 3 today with 3 home runs.
Wow. 2 AAA guys with 3 home runs. Chris Davis did it earlier in the year.
Yep. They're playing Nashville in Round Rock, and Taylor is having a great day at the plate, so keep it up, Taylor Teagarden. And that's a leadoff walk to Jorge Posada. As we check in with Jim Knox.
All right, John. Hey, tomorrow night, Ranger fans, you come to the ballpark, you get this nice American League champion pennant. Everyone who attends tomorrow game as the Rangers start that 3-game series against Oakland will receive this nice pennant. We're not going to give it to the Yankee fan. We'll give it to the little one right up there. There we go. We'll see you tomorrow night. There we go. Nice.
We'll see you before then, Knoxy. Thank you very much. Jim will be a part of the rest of our game as well as Rangers Live with Mac and Dana and Sonny. There's a strike to Brett Gardner. Single and a fly out for him. And it's 4-4. High drama on Mother's Day here at Rangers Ballpark in Arlington. We play in the 6th inning. Grounded to Elvis. To Ian for 1. Over to Mike Napoli. And the speedy Gardner beats it out.
Yeah, well turned, but no chance to get Gardner. Now you got a guy at first base who's a definite stolen base threat.
He's got 1 steal already in the game. And it's the catcher, Cervelli, coming to the plate. He grounded out his last time up. Another ground ball to the shortstop would be in order here. Just Cervelli's 3rd game of the season at catcher for the Yankees. He's replacing the normal starter Russell Martin. And there's a strike to him. Ryan Tucker on for Dave Bush. They've started the 5th inning, but gave up a leadoff home run to Derek Jeter, and his day was done. And David was pressed into duty as a starter because of the continuing blister problem that plagues Alexi Ogando.
It's a smart thing to skip Ogando to try to get that blister healed. Otherwise, it's going to keep popping up all season long, just never going to go away. It's made him come out of several starts in inning early. And you hate to have to skip him in the rotation as well as he's pitched. He's probably been the Rangers' best pitcher so far this year. but you have to get him healthy.
As of now, he's next scheduled to pitch on Friday, and they're hoping that the extra 5 days of rest will allow that blister to heal completely. That one sliced foul. Ogando's gotten lots of great advice about how to heal the blister, but perhaps got the best advice yesterday from Nolan Ryan, who said he had blisters throughout the course of his career, and he had a long talk with Alexi about how to get rid of the blisters, just how you kind of shave that skin down a little bit, try to keep it from being moist, because the moisture is the problem. And then Nolan gave him a few home remedies as well. It says pickle juice is one of the things Nolan always used when he was a young pitcher in the Mets organization. And I don't know if there's any truth to this with another foul, but they say sticking your fingers in your ear may help alleviate those blisters too. So
now, where did you hear that one?
I think that's one of the ones Nolan gave to.
Then I'm betting on that works.
Yeah, I think that's
I
one
don't
of the
have a blister, but
yeah, you try anything at that point. And Lexi's
I guess
already.
it depends how dirty your ears are. You know, like the more earwax, maybe the better to get rid of the blister.
If anything in there is medicinal, that would be it, and that's a break for the Rangers. Andy Fletcher just couldn't get out of the way of it, or it would have gone to the wall.
Yeah, that was not a soft throw to first base either. That hurts.
Oh boy, that does hurt. And now Ryan Tucker owes Andy Fletcher a dinner or something.
I know Andy Fletcher's showing me a lot. He didn't act like that even hit him.
Nope.
If that was a ball player, he'd be down on the ground for about 5 minutes.
Another foul ball. And Ryan Tucker remains ahead of the 9-hitter Cervelli. No balls and 2 strikes.
Have the luxury of making a tough pitch here. Make it a little bit out of the strike zone. Try to get him to swing at a bad one. Shading him way around toward right field.
There's a throwaway, and it's 1-2. Cervelli scored a run in the 3rd inning after reaching on an error. This one's grounded to 3rd. Beltre to 2nd for 1. On to 1st. There's the double play. Rangers turn it 5-4-3. And we remain tied. It's 4-4. Headed to the bottom of the 6th. by Sonic. Today's jackpot worth $1,600 and dinner for two at a Sonic Drive-In. And today the Rangers are hitting for Rhea Boyce from Grand Prairie. If a Ranger hits a grand slam in this inning, Rhea Boyce from Grand Prairie wins $25,000. You can register at any North Texas Sonic restaurant. And there's CC Sabathia back out there. Pitch total at 97. As he gets ready to start the bottom of the 6th inning against the bottom of the Rangers order. It's Craig Gentry and then Julio Bourbon. Craig called up from AAA when Nelly Cruz went on the disabled list. An MRI determined yesterday that Nelly had a quad strain, and the Rangers are being very careful. Gentry hits it to short. Jeter's got it, makes the play. It's almost like a theme we've seen this year, Tom, with the Rangers. Very careful, they said overcautious with Nefi Feliz to make sure he didn't hurt the shoulder anymore. Probably a little bit overcautious now with Nelly, and maybe even with Alexi Ogando, who feels like he could have pitched. It's like a trend this time of year especially. Let's play it safe and not get these guys to have lingering injuries.
Yeah, you're planning on being a championship team, and you want your best guys on the field the last couple of months of the season. So you feel like you can weather the storm right now.
And the Yankees can't seem to weather these infield comebackers.
Well, the Rangers almost had an inning to beat all innings last inning with 2 outs and 3 choppers down the first baseline. Almost resulted in a run. But speed forces you to rush. And this little tapper back to Sabathia. He reaches for it, can't make the play. You have to think Bourbon's speed forced the issue a little bit on that. See whether that's an infield hit or another error on Sabathia.
Looks like they're ruling it an error.
So yeah, keeping the guys healthy for the end of the season is very important. It's not like if you're more toward the middle of the year and you're 6 or 7 games out of first place and you just don't feel like you can afford to give up more games, then maybe you stretch it a little bit. But right now, early in the season, things are pretty tight. Get your guys healthy. It'd be like a shot in the arm. It'd be like making a trade later on in the season to when you bring these guys back. Nelly was struggling timing wise, and so maybe in some strange way it'll benefit him by getting some time off. He'll be able to work on things in the cage so that maybe when he comes back he'll have that timing back.
Speaking of working on things, Arthur Rhodes up and working in the pen. And that was the 4th error of the game by the Yankees, that one by Sabathia, and it's the most errors they've had in the game yet this year.
It resulted in 2 unearned runs in the first inning. The Rangers scored 3. 2 of them were unearned. Rodriguez's error started the first inning on Ian Kinsler's ground ball.
Sabathia is at 102 pitches. And worried about Bourbon at first base.
The Rangers have stolen 4 bases.
And Ian Kinsler hits this one high in the air to left.
Oh, that's another one that he just missed. He had a great swing at that fastball.
Bourbon's going to second. He's in there.
Boy, that's challenging the left fielder right there.
No kidding.
It's almost the same ball Ian had against Jason Vargas first time up in Seattle. Good swing, just got underneath it a little bit. Otherwise he could have put the Rangers up by a couple of runs. As it is, Bourbon tags up and has the go-ahead run at second base now. With some aggressive base running.
And Elvis will bat with a runner in scoring position again. He came through in 1 of 2 situations like this already today. He had a single in the second.
Yeah, the best pitch Sabathia's made all day was the pitch to strike Elvis out. It wasn't a strike, it was a couple inches off the plate. But with men on second and third and 2 outs, he reached back for a 97-mile-an-hour fastball. Most of his fastballs have been 92 to 94. But in that situation, In his mind, maybe with a game on the line, he gave it his best fastball.
And here's Julio on the tag. As you watch how close this play really was.
Yeah, it'll look like Julio's kind of feeling his way the first few steps and said, what the heck, I think I can sneak in there.
And now he's on the run again, down towards third base and out at third base.
Yeah, you can't get thrown out at third base in a tie game. You just can't do it. You can go. You can steal third with 2 outs, but you have to know you can be safe. You can't go when you don't get a good jump.
Ends the inning for the Rangers. It's still 4-4 as we head to the 7th. West is brought to you by your Texas Ford dealers. Check out the Ford F-150 and drive one. Ford is the best in Texas. And by Southwest Airlines' new Rapid Rewards, unlimited reward seats and no blackout dates. Mother's Day 2011. And the Rangers and Yankees are locked in a good one here. It's 4-4. We're headed to the 7th inning, and there's a new Rangers pitcher. He is Arthur Rhodes. He faces the top of the Yankees order. Derek Jeter first up against him here in the 7th. There are the numbers for Arthur.
Good game so far for Jeter. 3 for 3, home run, a couple runs batted in. Good game for Arthur yesterday too. Pitched 2/3 of an inning, struck out both hitters he faced.
And he got the win as Jeter hits this one towards center field. And in the bullpen again.
Yeah, that's where the jet stream is, to right center field, and he's picked it twice.
Back-to-back home runs for Derek Jeter, one in the 5th and now one here in the 7th inning to give the Yankees a 5-4 lead.
You know, Mac was talking about Jeter and throwing him the fastball. It just seems, based on what we've seen in these 3 games, if you're going to throw him the fastball, you got to bust him in with a fastball. But the worst that'll happen if you throw him a good fastball in is he might slice a base hit to right field. But out over the plate, that pitch allowed him to get his hands and the bat out and drive the ball into the gap, taking advantage of what looks like a little bit of a jet stream to right center field.
Yeah, the wind is favoring that type of a condition here at Rangers Ballpark in Arlington. Blowing in from right, pretty much out of the south. And now Granderson puts a charge into one. And it's gone.
Yankees lead the major leagues in home runs. Jeter didn't have one before the 2 that he's hit today. Granderson did, though. That's his 11th.
Yeah, he leads the American League with 11. That's 52 on the year for the New York Yankees, who scored 55% of their runs via the home run this year. It's their 17th multi-home run game of the year. They lead the majors in that category as well. And now it's Arthur against Mark Teixeira. With that victory yesterday, Arthur became the oldest Rangers reliever to ever record a win and the 4th oldest player in Rangers history to get a win, behind Nolan Ryan, Charlie Huff, and Gaylord Perry. Granderson now has 5 homers in 6 games against the Rangers this year, including 2 on Friday night. High and away to Teixeira. Makes it 2-2. They're working on the landing area on the mound out there. And Teixeira has not been great in the latter stages of games, hitting just a .154 in the 7th inning or later. It's now a full count. Back-to-back homers to lead off the 7th inning have given the Yankees a 6-4 lead. And that's a strike 3 called to Teixeira. Mark thought it was inside. Mike DeMuro said no. Joe Girardi can't believe it.
Well, according to the Fox tracks, it was a little bit inside, but we've seen a number of balls slightly off the plate called strikes today. Might be a little bit of a liberal strike zone, but they seem to be going both ways.
Toward Beltre. Big hop. Can't make the throw.
An unusual game for Beltre. 2 errors in the same game.
So Rodriguez is on at first.
Almost compounded it with the throw. Could have been 2 errors.
And actually, I believe they're ruling that officially a single.
Wow.
So the other one that he had might have been more questionable. Got an error on that one. This one's ruled a single by the official score. And it's the first hit of the game by Alex Rodriguez. Here's Cano. He's 0 for 3. Fly out, pop out, and a ground out. Then there's 1 out here in the 7th inning. Wind kicking up a little bit. One of the reasons for that jet stream. That'll also put a little sand in your eye. Now Cano's ready. Great play. Double play turned by Napoli with Rhodes covering. And the Rangers are out of the inning. The Yankees get a couple of runs, though. And they now lead at 6-4 as we stick around Rangers Ballpark in Arlington and listen in for Chuck Morgan.
Both at home and around the world. Today we invite you to join in singing God Bless America with Norris Perry.
God bless America, land that I love. Stand beside her and guide her through the night with the light from the mountains to the prairies to the ocean white with foam. God bless America, my home, sweet home. God bless America, my home, sweet home.
Chevy's a proud sponsor of youth baseball leagues in your community. Go to ChevyYouthBaseball.com for a chance at winning a home field makeover. As Elvis Andrus steps back in against CC Sabathia, 104 pitches for the big lefty. Elvis was at the plate last half inning when Julio Bourbon was caught stealing. You are not a very good son. But you are a good fan, and we do appreciate you being here.
That sign was probably made by that kid that proposed to his wife and said it was going to be the worst day of his life. Probably the same guy.
Right. We appreciate his fandom and wonder about his relationships. 2-0 pitch to Elvis.
It's definitely been a case of Sabathia doing a pretty good job of settling down since early in the game. When he walked all 3 of his batters in the first couple of innings. Well, he's walked 4. 3 of the 4 in the first couple innings. All 3 of them scored. Since that time, he's been pitching pretty well.
There's a strike.
Rangers let him off the hook last inning, though. They had Bourbon in scoring position with Elvis at the plate. Bourbon tried to steal third and was thrown out easily at third base for the last out of the inning.
And Elvis hits it into center field. A leadoff single for the Rangers shortstop.
Hoping to get an extra inning out of Sabathia. Doesn't look like they're going to get it. Girardi's coming to the mound, and he makes the move.
Here's a look at the last batter faced by CC Sabathia, Elvis Andrus. Got one in the good hitting zone. Solid single to center for Elvis. That's going to do it for Sabathia. We break with the pitching change on Fox. Inning, Rangers get the leadoff man on, and we remind you that weekdays on Fox Sports Southwest, it's the Dan Patrick Show. Tomorrow, Dan welcomes Jerry West to the program, the Dan Patrick Show. Weekdays at 8 a.m. on Fox Sports Southwest. And the new pitcher's a guy we saw yesterday as well. Jabba Chamberlain comes in, the big right-hander.
Yeah, he comes in trying to preserve a 2-run lead with 1 on and nobody out. He's got to pitch through the middle of the Ranger lineup right here. Young, Beltry, and Napoli will be the hitters.
Chamberlain had a team-leading 73 relief appearances for the Yankees last year, during which opponents batted .253 against him. There are the numbers this year. And here comes Michael Young. Michael had his 21st career 4 or more hit game yesterday. The Rangers' record in that category, easy for you to say. Rangers' record in 4 or more hit games is 23. Michael swings at the first pitch from Chamberlain. Pudge has 23 4 or more hit games. Michael now at 21. And he's hitless today. Elvis chased back to first base. And the 0-1 pitch outside to make it 1-1. There you see the 4+ games. And it's Pudge. Rafi and Michael tied at 21. And they've both gotten past Ruben Sierra. Quick throw to first. Elvis, as we've mentioned, 9 for 9 in steal attempts this year. And he has 5 in his last 10 games. And there he goes. And this ball is in the air. In center, right center, caught out there by Granderson, and Elvis trots back.
That gives you a pretty good look at the jet stream, boy. Michael just reached out and stroked that ball. Granderson was coming sideways and all of a sudden had to sprint back and went almost to the wall. And that's right where Jeter's hit both of his home runs. So if you can get one up in the air there, you'll have a chance. Michael didn't really drive that ball, and it almost went out. Well, probably would hit the base of the wall.
Took him all the way back to the wall, as it turns out. And now the runner is going. And in safely is Elvis Andrus. Make it 10 for 10 in steal attempts this year for Elvis.
Well, down by 2, you love to get within 1 run. End of the Yankee bullpen's pretty tough. You got a lot of ways you can manufacture 1 run. You can use the sacrifice, hit and run, a lot of different things you can do when it's a 1-run deficit late in the game. Rangers definitely using the stolen base, and now the wild pitch to put a man in scoring position at third with 1 out.
They'll take that. Now Elvis Andrus 90 feet away. And the team with the fourth best average with runners in scoring position in the American League, the Rangers, will try to push this one across. They're hitting .312 as a team with runners in scoring position, and now come the training staff and Girardi.
Yeah, Cervelli blocked that ball. Looked like it hit him in the knee. You've got a lot of protection, but it can still hit areas of that protection where you can still get a significant bruise and an injury.
See where it got him.
On the inside of his right knee.
And he's okay. Jamer stays in there and straps the mask back on. And now it's Chamberlain with a 1-1 pitch to Adrian Beltre. Swing and a miss. Adrian walked in the first. A couple of pop-ups since. He did score a run for the Rangers in that first inning.
Nice play by Cervelli. That ball was way outside. Shifted his weight and got all the way over into the other batter's box to block that. Right in the glove. Otherwise, it probably would have been a wild pitch. That would have kicked off the side of his glove, but he caught it right in the pocket of his catcher's mitt.
So it's 2-2 to Beltre. Elvis Andrus at third base. And time was called. Beltre had gotten tired of waiting for Chamberlain. Hot and windy day here on Mother's Day at Rangers Ballpark in Arlington, and the Antlers are out. There's some speed on the base paths, emblematic of the Antlers. Sliced foul by Beltre and out of play. So we'll do it again at 2-2. 16th appearance of the year already for Jabba Chamberlain. And that'll run it full. 3-2 to Adrian Beltre. 25 RBI on the season for Adrian, has him 4th in the American League. Grounded to third. A-Rod fakes home, and because he didn't get Beltre.
He wanted to come home, and I think he would have, but he didn't really get a grip on the ball. He realized he wasn't going to be able to get the runner at home. That was Elvis. And by the time he threw to first base, he couldn't get Adrian either. He was hustling all the way. The chopper takes a little bit of a hop, doesn't have a handle on it, doesn't have an angle to make the throw as much as anything. Doesn't get anybody. RBI for Beltre.
And a 1-run game, and it is a single for Adrian Beltre. Mike Napoli at the plate now.
The Rangers take advantage of a stolen base, a wild pitch to score on that infield hit.
Beltre is chased back to first. A threatening stance from Francisco Cervelli. And then Chamberlain checks him back there too. Big wave and a miss by Napoli. He had that 2-run single in the first inning. Three home runs and 9 RBIs for Napoli in his last 14 games. Lays off that one. And it's 2-2. Mike's .346 career average against the Yankees is the 5th highest among active players. And he hits this one in the air to center. Granderson going back on the warning track. He makes the play.
A couple of balls that went to the warning track, but not quite. Napoli hit that ball pretty well to dead center. Michael's ball went to the wall in right center.
Napoli's in a spot that just doesn't get much of that benefit from the jet stream.
The ball might have hit him off just a little bit off the end of the bat. I'm not sure he got that on the sweet spot of the bat. As strong as he is, a day like this, that probably would have gone.
Now it's the pitching coach for the Yankees, Larry Rothschild, out there.
Now you've got David Murphy up, and you've got Torrey Alba next. Might have something to do with that. How you want to pitch Murphy in this situation.
Lefty against a righty with a jet stream. I'm making the call.
All right, good call. Need to get you on the board.
Yep.
Probably wanted to remind Cervelli and Chamberlain what the scouting report is, how they want to pitch David.
Yep.
Started that ball down and away. Smart place to throw a 95-mile-an-hour fastball to a left-hand hitter in this ballpark this afternoon, the way the ball's carrying to right.
David's hit safely in 10 of 11 games against the Yankees, including the single back in the 5th inning. And there's a strike to him. Had an RBI on the sacrifice fly in the first. And he's even at 1-1 with Jabba Chamberlain. outside part of the plate for a strike to make it 1-2.
That's exactly where they're trying to pitch him. Keep him from being able to pull the ball.
And the 1-2 pitch. Sliced foul. David had one of those 25-foot singles last inning, or last time up, I should say, in the 5th. Oh, and he called him out, rung him up. David tosses his gear in disgust. But the Rangers get one and get back to within one in the inning. It's 6-5 as we head to the 8th. Brown Hand Center, great hands of the game, and the Rangers got big double plays at the end of the 6th. The 5-4-3 to end that frame, and then how about this one to end the 7th inning, 3-6-1. Great coverage by Arthur Rhodes over there to help complete that double play in our Brown Hand Center. Great hands plays of the game. So now the Yankees come up in the 8th, and it's a new pitcher for the Rangers, Cody Epley.
Yeah, Cody's done a nice job since his call-up. This will be his 6th ball game. Got a nice ERA. 143 opponent's batting average. Trying to keep this a one-run game. Rangers have 2 more at-bats to get to the Yankees. They'll probably see Soriano in the 8th, Rivera in the 9th if the game stays like it is.
And Swisher hits a jam shot. Napoli can't beat him to the bag.
He's going to say he didn't touch the bag. It looked like by the umpire's reaction that he got there in time but missed the bag. We couldn't tell. His foot, if he did touch it, was just the toe of his foot.
From Washington doesn't like the call from Andy Fletcher.
If your foot's not on the bag but just touching the side of it, it's tough for the umpire to tell whether it's touching the bag.
Well, we've got a pretty good angle of it here. Watch the base.
Definitely kicked the bag.
Yeah.
But there's no part of his foot on the bag. The front of his foot is up touching the bag. So it's obvious that he did touch the bag. It wasn't quite so obvious to Andy Fletcher at first base. And we had the benefit of slow motion close-up replay.
And watch the runner's foot.
Yeah, he's not touching the base.
Swisher, no. Wow.
If anything, Napoli came a lot closer to the bag by touching it than Swisher did. We probably missed it.
And that's really good camera work. To have that close a shot of first base to see both those feet. Posada now, and he's ahead of Epley. 2 balls and no strikes. He walked his last time up. And he grounds one into right field. So there's runners at first and second here in the top of the 8th inning.
Probably a bunt situation for Gardner, you would think. Mike Maddox is going to come out and talk a little strategy here to Cody Epley and the rest of the Ranger infielders, what they're trying to do. Tough start to the inning for Cody. A little infield hit and a dribbler through the right side.
And we check in with Jim Knox.
All right, John, time for the progressive fan of the game. It's not the mullet guy, not on this day. It's Mother's Day, and we have Cookie here from Dawson, Texas, right outside of Waco, 84 years young. She's got her daughters here, her grandkids, her great-grandkids, everybody on hand. Here's the bag. Here's the hat. Here's the shirt. You have anything to say, Cookie?
Big damn Yankees!
There we go. Very good. Way to go, Cookie. Happy Mother's Day, everyone. Thank you, John.
Thank you, Noxie and Cookie. A pretty good sentiment. I believe that's the feeling of most of the near 50,000 people here at Rangers Ballpark in Arlington on this Sunday, Mother's Day.
Napoli and Beltre weigh in at first and third, anticipating the bunt.
And this one is just slapped by Gardner into center field to load the bases.
I think Gardner sensed that the wheel play was going to be on.
Yeah.
They tried to disguise it, and he didn't bunt. Earlier in this series, he bunted to third base, and they turned the out at third base. You see Elvis going over toward third. They're in position to run that wheel play, and Gardner, who bunted into it once, wasn't going to do it again.
So the bases are loaded. Cervelli's up. And there's nobody out here in the top of the 8th. Chant goes up, let's go Rangers. And the pitch from the side-arming Epley is outside.
That was the first game in the second inning against Matt Harrison. Gardner with Posada and Martin on first and second. Batted into that force out at third base when the wheel play was on. So they tried to do it twice, and Gardner didn't fall for it that time.
There's a strike to Cervelli. Makes it 1-1.
Can't play back for a double play here. You got to play in and try to get the home to first double play. Just can't give up another run. Don't want to give up another run with the late inning bullpen that the Yankees have. Keep it a one-run game. That's a strike. I promise that's a strike.
Mike DeMuro didn't think so.
Borderline strike, but at least I didn't break my promise.
No, you're good on your promises. And that's a strike. To make it 2-2. Cervelli hit into one of those inning-ending double plays back in the 6th. He had a ground out in the 4th inning. Reached on an error and scored a run in the 3rd. And fouls this one off. Rangers have clawed their way back into it at 6-5. They'd like to keep it a one-run game. But the bases are loaded with Yankees, and there's nobody out here in the 8th. The 2-2 pitch to Cervelli. Fouled off. Down the third base line. And we'll do it again at 2-2. Epley looks in for the signs. Kicks and deals. And that'll run it full. It's 3 balls and 2 strikes. You see the runners. Swisher at third. It's Posada at second base. And Brett Gardner down at first. That ball's in the air to center field. Julio Bourbon going back and watching it fly out of here. Just over the wall in center, a grand slam for Francisco Cervelli.
Well, that gives you a pretty good idea how the jet stream's working today. If you hit it solid and get it up to center or right center, it'll definitely go out of here.
That makes it 10-5 Yankees. As this one just barely clears the wall. Never even made it to Greens Hill. It got trapped in between the 2 walls out there. And it brings up the top of the order. First home run of the year by Cervelli. 4th of the game by the Yankees, who now have 53 on the season. Jeter right back to Epley. And there's the first out of the inning. Granderson homered his last time up.
The whole inning got off to a bad start on the disputed play at first base. It was ruled an infield single.
Even though replay made it show that Mike Napoli probably did beat the runner, Swisher, to the bag.
Yeah, it was a tough call for the first base umpire, but our replay showed that the tip of his toe did touch the bag. Did not look that way to the umpire, though.
Swing and a miss by Granderson makes it 1-1. And the Yankees continue to do so much damage with the long ball. 55% of their runs have been scored by home runs, and they've got 6 players with at least 5 home runs on the year. Hard foul toward the Rangers dugout. This is the Yankees home run leader, Granderson, with 11, and the 2-2 pitch from Epley. Makes it 3-2. Mark Lowe warming in the Rangers pen now. And there's a walk to Granderson. Brings up Mark Teixeira. He's got a double back in the 5th inning after a 2-for-4 day yesterday. And Tex has been a part of these bombing Bronx Bombers this year. He's got 8 homers on the year. 6 of those came in April. The most he's ever hit in the month of April. Swing and a miss at that one from Epley as he took something off it at 77 miles an hour, and Cody's ahead of him 0-2. It's Curtis Granderson at first base. And the pitch to Teixeira is in the air. It's in the jet stream. It's in the seats.
Definitely a long ball explosion for the Yankees today. They've hit some balls hard, and they've taken advantage of the elements. But, yeah, it's blowing the same for both teams, and they're the ones hitting the balls.
And now it is 12-5 as Ron Washington comes to get Cody Epley. His day is done. As he gives up the grand slam and then the 2-run homer to Mark Teixeira, his 9th of the year. We break with the pitching change. We're back after this on Fox. All on the home run. A grand slam by Francisco Cervelli. 2-run shot by Mark Teixeira. And that ties a season high for home runs in a game by the Yankees. 5 of them today. And the new pitcher is Mark Lowe for the Rangers.
If you look at the Rangers pitching, I'm sure Ron doesn't want to use Darren Oliver today. Hopes to use Neffy Felice if the Rangers make a nice comeback, but otherwise not him. And Tomko pitched 2 1/3 yesterday. We're looking for Mark to come in, get the last couple of outs of this inning, and then pitch the 9th inning.
It's a tall order. Alex Rodriguez and Robinson Cano represent the 8th and 9th hitters of the inning. And that ball's grounded to shortstop. Elvis up with it. Across to Napoli, and there's one away. Make it 2 for the inning. 1 for Mark Lowe. And here comes Cano. (12-5) Yankees. And Lowe starts Cano off with a pitch inside for a ball. Robinson's 0 for 4. Fly out, pop out, ground out, and then he hit into that 3-6-1 double play that ended the 7th inning. And that one's inside to make it 2-0.
And this games like this, it makes it tough for the front office when you're not only looking at this game, but you're looking at the games coming up. And you know that one of your long men, Dave Bush, started the game. Ogando couldn't pitch. There's 2 guys that for sure can't pitch tomorrow. And then you try to look at ways that you're going to get through the next game. And you have to anticipate the worst sometimes to do that. If the starting pitcher doesn't go deep in the game, who are the pitchers that are available to give you innings in tomorrow's game? And so many times during the course of the year that comes up, and you have to make a change. You have to send someone down and bring up a fresh pitcher just in case you need him. You might not need him, but you don't want to get into a position where you've got more innings than you have pitchers, and that causes a lot of roster moves, and I'm sure that's something that the Rangers are having to look at right now in this game.
Swisher got it all started with that infield single. He's the one who we believe Napoli beat to the bag, but he was called safe, and he later rode home on the grand slam home run by Francisco Cervelli.
So many things enter into roster moves. One of the main things is how many people are on your major league roster. If you're at 40 and you don't have room on your roster, and you go down and you have to call up an emergency player or pitcher, it's much more beneficial if he's on the roster, so you don't have to use a roster spot that you don't have. Otherwise, you have to outright somebody to call someone from the AAA roster and put him on the big league roster. Well, those are the little headaches that face a front office and a team, every team, not just the Rangers, but every team all season long.
And that played a factor in Craig Gentry being here. Andy Chavez was a candidate too, but Craig was on the 40-man roster.
And it's why you would see seasons when, for instance, Scott Feldman was called up and down from the minor leagues, 4 times in a season. And one of the reasons was he had options. He was on the big league roster, and you were able to maneuver up and down with him.
Lifted in the air toward left field. Great play by Beltre. Went a long way to get it. And Swisher is retired as the 10th man in the inning. Yankees put up a 6 spot and lead at 12-5. Bottom of the 8th inning on Mother's Day at Rangers Ballpark in Arlington. And the Rangers, who had a 4-0 lead at one point in this game, now find themselves down by 7 runs. Strike to Torrealba, and there you see the new pitcher, Rafael Soriano, who we saw on Friday night as well. Strike called to Torrealba to make it 1-2. Yorvitz 0 for 3 on the day, a couple of ground outs and a strikeout. And he fouls that one out of play. Into the club section. 48,057 on hand. Another sellout for the Rangers and the Yankees. Some of them beginning to filter away already after the big 8th inning put up by the Yankees, where they scored 6 runs on a couple of home runs. A grand slam by Cervelli and a 2-run shot by Mark Teixeira. Torrealba hits this one toward left field. Ranging over to make the play is Gardner for the first out of the 8th.
Soriano is normally a guy that comes in and has a fastball 92 to 94 miles an hour, kind of a hard slider. It looks like today he's conserving it. What's going on here?
Got an argument going on down there with Ron Washington.
Yeah, Torrealba's arguing with the first base umpire. Didn't see exactly what happened. Routine ball to the left fielder. Didn't even watch Torrealba get all the way to first base. That's not one where you anticipate an argument, but let's see.
He got tossed immediately.
He had to be arguing about the play
Napoli
at first base.
Yeah, had to be that. He had to make a comment about Napoli beating Swisher to the bag. He's already been tossed at that point. He's getting his money's worth. Now it's Craig Gentry. Takes a first pitch strike from Rafael Soriano. Slices this one foul, and it's 0-2. Soriano held opponents to just a 163 batting average in 2010. This one is in for a base hit for Craig Gentry. The single with one out brings up Julio Bourbon.
Now getting back to Soriano, he's not throwing that way today, and it's almost like with this kind of a lead, he's not going to go out and take any chances on overthrowing.
Starts Bourbon off with a slow one, but it's out of the strike zone, and it's 1-0.
When Soriano was warming up to pitch the 8th inning, it was a 6-5 ball game. And then all of a sudden, the Yankees scored 6 runs. And so normally it might be the game with a 7-run lead where Soriano wouldn't pitch the 8th inning, but he was the one warmed up while that rally was going on. Girardi brought him in anyway. But he's not throwing much right now.
Grounded to Cano at second. Jeter for one, and back to Mark Teixeira. It's a double play, 4-6-3. That does it for the Rangers in the 8th. New And the first pitch of the 9th inning from Mark Lowe. in there for a strike, and it's not just a new catcher, but lots of defensive changes for Ron Washington's squad. We'll get to in just a second. Slice to one of the new men. Mitch Moreland out there in right field now. And there's the new catcher, Mike Napoli, who was previously at first base, but he's in for Yorvit Torrealba, who got tossed for arguing. Chris Davis replaces Knapp at first base. And you've got Craig Gentry out in center field now with Mitch Moreland in right. With Gentry moving over from right to center. And it's Mitch Moreland in right field.
It's not normally the kind of game where Julio Bourbon would come out of the game as a young player. You might rest a veteran here and there during the season like this, but could be a situation where we'll try to show it, where Julio might have had a slight injury. Let's see if we can see if anything happens on this double play grounder. I don't see anything.
No.
It's one of two things. Either something's bothering him, he's kind of limping back. Yeah, that's what it looks like. He's limping back to the dugout. So it's either that. I'm going to go with that. The other possibility is occasionally a manager doesn't like the way the player runs to first base and might punish him by making a change. It didn't look like that the way Julio was limping back to the dugout.
Dribbled in front of the plate. And there's no getting the Speedy Gardner on that one.
He couldn't have laid down a better bunt than that.
No. So another infield single. And it brings up Cervelli with one out here in the ninth. Rangers put 3 runs on the board in the first inning off CC Sabathia. Added another in the second to make it 4-0. Yankees came back with 2 in the third inning. As this one's grounded to Beltre. Makes the play to Davis. And there are 2 away. Yankees tied it up in the 5th inning. And they took the lead with a couple of runs in the 7th, and then the Rangers got back to within 6-5. But the 8th inning, it all came undone. 6-run 8th inning for the Yankees has them at 12-5. And there's a strike. 2 singles, 2 homers, and a ground out for Jeter on the day. Jeter came into the game needing just 7 hits to move into 29th place all time on the hits list in baseball. He's gotten 4 of them today. Now he's trimmed it to 7. He passed Wee Willie Keeler with his first hit today. That was hit number 2957. Swing and a miss there at the low offering.
Yeah, it's good sinking fastball from Mark. That's a good sign. That's going to be a very effective pitch for him. He's got a pitch in the mid-90s, keeps it down, and gets good sinking action down and in. Jeter swings right over the top of it. And the Rangers need for Mark to be a key guy late in the ballgame. He's got the arm for it. Felt like the few mechanical adjustments he made, minor adjustments he made in AAA helped. Had more innings, a little more time on the mound coming back from last year's injury. And so with that kind of an arm, he's suited to pitch late in the ball game. And that's what the Rangers are counting on from him.
Right now he's got a full count with Derek Jeter. And the payoff pitch fouled off. Oakland A's come to town tomorrow. They're fresh off a victory in Kansas City. They beat the Royals today 5-2. And the Angels have come back on the Cleveland Indians. LA now leading 3-2 over Cleveland in the 7th. The Angels will follow the A's to Rangers Ballpark next weekend for a series of games. Over the head of Lowe. Ian's got it. And that'll do it for the Yankees in the 9th. Rangers one last chance. Down by 7 in the 9th. Unlimited reward seats and no blackout dates. By the Progressive Insurance Group. For a money-saving car insurance quote, call 1-800-PROGRESSIVE today. And by your Texas Ford dealers. Check out the Ford F-150 and drive one. Ford is the best in Texas. Bottom of the 9th inning due on Mother's Day. And there's a new pitcher for the Yankees. That would be Lance Pendleton in there to finish things off. Joe Girardi's club now with a 7-run lead.
Pendleton hasn't had a lot of opportunities, but when he has, he's made the most out of them. Only pitched 5 1/3 innings, but hasn't given up a run yet. Most of their relief appearances go to Chamberlain, Robertson, Soriano, Logan, and Rivera. They also have Lance Pendleton, Buddy Carlisle, 2 other young pitchers in their bullpen.
Lance is facing no less than the top of the Rangers order with Ian Kinsler standing in now. Strike there to him on the outside part of the plate makes it 1-1. Lance with a walk in the 4th inning. Reached on an error and scored a run in the 1st. And Ian turns on that one, but pulls it foul. So it's 2 balls and 2 strikes. That one's grounded foul. Rangers come into the game 4-1 in day games at home. And they got off to a good start in this one.
Yeah, this is just a case of the Yankees taking advantage of the jet stream. They got hit some balls hard. They got them up in the air, and it's not like they need a lot of help hitting home runs. They lead Major League Baseball in home runs. And to CC Sabathia's credit, got off to a little bit of a shaky start command-wise. 3 of the walks that he had in the first 2 innings scored. But he kept the ball down, and he kept the Rangers from getting balls up in the jet stream and hitting them out here. And I think that was the key for him. He's settling down and pitched strong baseball after the 2nd inning.
And Ian pops this one up straight back and foul. So it's a full count to him. Leadoff batter in the 9th inning for the Rangers. And another foul. As he works Lance Pendleton, a native of Houston, Texas. Of course, attended Rice University. And now Ian hits this one in the air toward left field. Gardner has room to make the play on the warning track.
It's the 2nd time today, 2nd time in a row, really, that Ian has hit a ball like that. Just got underneath it a little bit again.
And now it's Elvis. Scored the last Rangers run of the game, got the score close to within 1. It was 6-5 at that point when Elvis scored back in the 7th inning. He singled in that frame, stole second, and then went to third on a wild pitch. And now he hits this one into shallow left field for another base hit. 3rd single of the game for Elvis Andrus. And it brings up Michael Young. Thirteen RBI in his last 11 games for Young. 0 for 3 officially today. Elvis is going, and that'll be defensive indifference. Pendleton misses with that one. It's 2 balls and no strikes. Just got a piece of it to make it 1-2. Or rather 2-1. Beltre waiting on deck.
Good pitching matchup for tomorrow's ball game. Scheduled to pitch Trevor Cahill and C.J. Wilson.
Yeah, we saw that one in Oakland a little more than a week ago. And that was a good game.
And with the bullpen being used significantly the last couple of days, and with Dave Bush having to start today's game, I'm sure Ron Washington, if he had to pick a pitcher to pitch tomorrow, he'd have C.J. Wilson on the mound. Coming off a complete game.
Here comes Adrian Beltre. Yeah, in that complete game, CJ allowed just 2 runs. One of them earned on 6 hits against the Mariners. 125 pitches in the game was a career high, and 81 of them for strikes. It was his 4th career complete game. And now with runners at first and second, it's the cleanup man. Beltre pops it up. Cano is under it and makes the play. For the second out of the 9th inning, here comes Mike Napoli.
Manager Mike Napoli.
Mike got the Rangers off to a good start in the first inning. An error and 2 walks loaded the bases, and his base hit drove in the first 2 runs. Rangers had a good first inning. They scored 3 times.
Yeah, with the benefit of only that hit, just 1 hit in the first.
Haven't been able to do much since then, though. While the Yankees have gone to the long ball.
The 1-0 pitch. Misses to make it 2-0. Much of the 48,057 already headed towards Mother's Day dinner. The 2-0 pitch is high for a ball. That makes it 3-0. And the pitch to Napoli. That one's in there for a strike. Elvis at second. Michael Young at first base after a walk. A single for Elvis and then a walk to Michael. But there are 2 out here in the bottom of the 9th inning. Mike hits that one hard, foul. Into the seats. Mad scramble for it, and he came up with it. And the full count pitch. Got him swinging. Lost the bat. And the Rangers lost the game on Mother's Day. Yankees used the long ball with 5 home runs in the game, including a grand slam on his first home run of the year by Francisco Cervelli. And the Yankees beat the Rangers in the game and in the series. Rangers Live is coming your way right after this on Fox.